What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Locker Room Rant. I'm your host, John V. Beside me right here is my friend Nico. What's going on, Nick?
Not much. Tony possibly may come on at some point in time today. He's on a work trip, so it's a little more difficult for him tonight. But yeah, sometimes work gets in the way of fun, you know.
Absolutely. So, first things I want to get into, man. Denver hired Sean Payton. It appears they must have settled whatever trade clause and whatever else was going on with the Saints. So now Sean Payton is now the head coach of the Denver Broncos. How you feel about that, bro?
I gotta be honest. I just heard about that just now when you told me. Do you know what they gave up for him? Because they had to trade for him, correct?
I honestly don't know. I don't know. I saw Bleacher Report sent me a notification, and I saw that Sean Payton, the Saints, and the Denver Broncos. I don't know what goes on there, man. I didn't even really know there was a stipulation for Sean Payton, but apparently there was. So he's now the head coach of the Broncos, and that instantly makes them a lot better than they were with Nathaniel Hackett. So,
well, Hackett was a terrible coach. Hackett really, really stunk. I mean, you don't get fired usually within the first year of you becoming head coach unless you're really, really bad. Obviously Payton's proven to be a very good coach, especially on the offensive end. I'm interested to see what they actually gave up for him, though, because, like I said, you did have to trade for him, and I don't think the Saints were going to let his contract go quietly. So, and you got to remember, the Broncos also gave a lot to get Russell Wilson, so they gave up a lot of draft capital to get him. So,
We'll find out. You can check it out. Listen, let's say hello to the folks in the chat. Roy Boy, good to see you, my man. First one in. He says, poised to make history, only to get fucked by another injury. Rotten luck. My man, we'll get into that a little bit, but I share that sentiment. Roy, we can't catch a fucking break, man. Like I said, we'll touch on that in a few. Scott, evening, my man. Congratulations. You guys are checking out Super Bowl 57, my dude. And I hope you beat the fucking brakes off those dirty, rotten, ass-wash motherfucking Eagles. I despise them, and their fans are absolute dog shit as well. I hope they fucking choke on their dinner. Hey, it's Nick. What's up, fam? I hear you're eating a little ice cream with some spicy food. It helps both entry and exit. My man, we're going to honor that bet. Just need to get with the fellas, and we'll order the hot sauce, and we'll knock it out, man. Who else we got in the chat? Vince, I see you, my man. Joel, good to see you, family. Denise, good to see you, fam. Corey, what's going on? Coach Cruz, I see you, my man. All right, so we have quite a few things we need to talk about, but do you have any further thoughts on the Payton hire?
I just looked at it. Schefter reported on Twitter that it was Denver's 23, so this coming draft's first-round pick, 24 second-round pick, and they get back 24 third-round pick. So essentially, they're swapping next year's second and third, which the Saints get the better end of that deal, and Denver also has to get rid of a first. That's a lot for a coach. Which is why when people were saying get rid of Stefanski and get Sean Payton, I was like, we can't get Sean Payton. Mm-hmm. We don't have anything to trade to get Sean Payton. And sure enough, that's exactly what the case was. I don't know how Denver gets better. I mean, obviously with Payton, they're going to be better coached. He knows how to coach a team better. But I don't know how the team gets better. unless they're able to get some free agents come. Maybe they want to play, but then again, Russ is still your quarterback. Does anybody trust Russ to be better? And on top of that, is your team that good? That's another thing you got to put. I mean, they got to resign. Judy's, I believe, a free agent. Oh no, he might not be a free agent. I know there's a lot of talk about the Browns trying to go after him, so it might be he might have to be a guy that you get a trade with. But yeah, I mean, are they good enough for Sean Payton to really make that difference and make him a good coach? I mean, to make him a good team.
I mean, they get Patrick back, right? They get Cortland Sutton back. I mean, they were short weapons.
But that's the thing. I always question.
Defensively, defensively, I mean, I don't think Denver's really. I think outside
defensively, they're good. Defensively,
outside of Russ being, they didn't really give up a lot of points.
No, defensively,
give or take a few games, they might have. But I mean, outside of Russ just being dog shit, I don't really know what Sean Payton does going forward. But I totally believe that they're in a much better situation than they were under Hackett. So at this point, let's just sit back and see, because I'm not going to get myself crazy. Because going into the beginning of this past season, when I found out that Russ was going to Denver and all the weapons that they had there, I thought to myself, with that defense and Russ, they're going to be tough.
See, they
ended up being dog shit.
I always questioned it because people were saying, "Oh, Russ with those weapons." I was like, "Are their weapons really that great?" They don't have a fantastic tight end. I mean, Noah Fant was good when he was there, but he wasn't like a game-breaking tight end. And I mean, Judy, what has Judy done to? I mean, I know he finished off the year pretty well, but what has Judy done to make you believe that he's this great receiver? And Sutton has been pretty good. He's been pretty good, but he's never been great either. And I mean, who else they got? You know, Williams has the makings of a really good running back, but has he done anything? I mean, I don't think the coaching staff has let him do anything because they always had him go behind Melvin Gordon. But I mean, is he a great running back? We don't know. There's a lot of unknowns about Denver's weapons that everyone keeps saying they have.
Well, I mean, let's see. What's Peyton taking the job for if he thinks it's a bust-out team? Is he really doing it for the fucking money? Because he doesn't need the money.
I assume Peyton thinks that he has the weapons, so we'll see.
All right.
But yeah.
All right. So let's just see let's see what he does. Let's see how he does it. I see you, Scott. That's a contender in your division. You know, they played you tough. You guys only beat them by a possession, right? Mm-hmm. It was a close game, the last one. Texans hired DeMeco Ryans, Nick. Sad day for San Francisco fans. We knew it was coming.
I knew it was going to happen. I mean, I didn't know it was going to go to the Texans. I actually didn't think he was going to go to the Texans.
Neither did I, but apparently he has a home in Houston. I guess, you know, he can see past their foolish shitbag ways. I just think that the Texans were a shitty spot for him. I mean, outside of the history you have there and you played for them and you got a home there, like they're kind of a fucking dirtbag organization. I don't know. You know, congratulations and good luck.
The Texans are not a shitty spot for him, really. They're a team that has been rebuilding for the past couple of years. They were awful they were awful the year before, and they were awful this past year. But they're slowly building. They're slowly getting the building blocks together, and they're going to have pretty good draft picks this year. And their defense isn't bad, which is DeMeco Ryans' hallmark. So my guess is they're going to use this draft. They're going to get some good defensive pieces. They're going to try to build a dominant defense and see if the offense can work. But I told you he wasn't going to stay with the San Francisco 49ers from rip, John. Defensive coordinators, especially young ones that seem to have a little bit of ambition, when it's their time, they never stay defensive coordinators. It doesn't matter how much money you throw at them. It doesn't matter how much that community loves you. They just don't stay defensive coordinators.
Listen, I just didn't want him to go.
I mean,
I was being selfish.
That's fine, but I was trying to give you a little dose of reality. You can't pay
the Texans, though. It's just, to me, fuck.
I didn't think he was going to go to the Texans because the Texans have, well, let's be frank, they have a notoriously kind of borderline racist owner.
I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on there. They must be throwing the bag at him. They gave him a 6-year contract. Is that right? I think they gave him 6 years. Now I see that they want to interview Bobby Slowick, which is another asset to the San Francisco 49ers, and they want him to be, I think they're going to interview him for the it's OC, I guess. Nonetheless, whatever, man. This is poaching season. Come and get them. I can't fucking stand that shit, but it is what it is.
That's the price you pay for being good.
Let's see who joined us in the chat. Izzy, we see you, family. Laney, good to see you. Vasilios, we see you. JT, what's going on, fam? Steve-O, Bash, I see you, bro. Antonio, I see you, little man. Good to see you. So, Laney, congratulations. Bo, congratulations. Congratulations, Nick, as well. You guys are moving on to Super Bowl 57. Really happy for you guys. In case you didn't hear me earlier, Laney and Bo, I hope that you guys beat the fucking brakes off that shitbag fucking organization. I cannot stand the fans of Philadelphia. They're dirtbags. Big Doug, good to see you, my man.
It's every time somebody beats you, that's the team you hate.
No, they're dirtbag. They're dirtbag.
Yeah, Philly fans are notorious.
They gotta be the biggest. They gotta be the biggest. They're super proud that they're moving on, beating a team with virtually no quarterback. I mean, congratulations.
Listen, Philly fans are notoriously rowdy fans, but listen, they're probably not proud that they beat the four. They're probably happy they're going to the Super Bowl.
I don't have any problem with them being happy that their team is going. Just don't pride yourself on beating a team that didn't contend from the first fucking quarter. It just don't pride yourself on it. Like, you got to earn it, and you didn't. I mean, you earned it on one drive. You got to the quarterback. You injured the quarterback. Congratulations. It was a fucking easy win because all we were going to do was run the ball while you stacked the box and force us to run through a bunch of shit.
I feel like they think they earned
good for them.
The previous 18 games that they played.
I don't give a fuck.
They earned 18 because they injured your quarterback.
Fuck them. It doesn't make a difference. I'm rooting full-blown Kansas City. I'm Kansas City all the way. I hope Mahomes fucking limps his way to another victory. I don't care what it takes. Stand on your head. Stand on your fucking pinky toe. I couldn't give a fuck. Do what you got to do. Beat the brakes off that fucking team. Yeah, I mean, I'm going through it, family. It's definitely tough, man. Never want to see, you never want to contend for a big game like this, especially the NFC Championship game. Without all of your players, you want to contend at your top, at the best. You want your opponent at the best, and your opponent should want you at your best. And unfortunately, Brock Purdy was taken out early and could not return. He's facing, a potential operation on his elbow that could potentially cost him 6 months. I've seen it as much as 12 months, depending on the surgery that's done. Either way, young man's not going to be healthy for OTAs. Won't be ready to compete for the job. That breaks my heart because
probably be ready to compete for the job.
I don't think so, man.
Well, first of all,
what I'm hearing.
First of all, I mean, we probably should save this for the point when we talk about this because I'm sure we're going to talk about this specific thing. I don't know if you want it to be right now, but That job's Brock Purdy's. So he's not. I'm not saying it's not going to be a competition. I'm sure Trey Lance is going to go in with a decent opportunity to prove himself. But if it's him and Brock at any point in time during the offseason, Trey has to beat Brock. It's not if Trey's ready, if Trey does most of the stuff, he's the quarterback. No, the moment Brock comes back, Trey has to beat Brock.
I mean, if Brock undergoes Tommy John surgery, it's definitely, it's going to be a long haul. He's not going to be competing for the job right off rip.
You're not doing anything physically active until about July in the NFL. All the other stuff is just going through the motions, like doing like things that are non-contact type stuff. That stuff does not matter. That stuff doesn't matter. All Brock Purdy has to do is be there, and he could do that in a sling. Okay, if you're talking, it's basically, we'll say it's the start of February right now when he got injured. It was a little bit before that, but it's the start of February. You got March, April, May, June, July, August. August is when things really start ramping up. If he's ready by August to start throwing or start taking place in some of these things, the season don't start till you're talking preseason games late August. Okay? Brock Purdy probably should be ready by then.
I saw that too, Roy Boy. I saw that he could miss an entire year. I saw that.
So here's the thing. I talk, obviously I'm a nurse. I talk a lot about medical stuff, but I'm not an orthopedic. So I'm not a expert on this. I'm not an orthopedic. I don't do anything with orthopedics other than when somebody comes and they break their arm and I put it in a splint. That's all I do. But, and I don't know a ton about recovery times, but from what I read is that in football for quarterbacks, this injury is more likely a 6-month injury. It's not the same for a pitcher in baseball. I know they both throw, but the throwing motion of a quarterback is a lot more of a natural motion. It doesn't put a ton of stress on the arm. That's why quarterbacks don't get it often.
Dude, listen, there are people that are involved in the orthopedic field, and they seem to believe that it could be a year if, in fact, he undergoes the specific surgery.
It can be. Nobody's body heals.
And nobody knows. I mean, he still has to undergo the operation. He has to go through therapy. Look, I mean, it's not even an argument at this point. Like, San Francisco got hit hard. Like, we didn't even have an opportunity to compete in that fucking game. It just sucks. I mean, do I look like a person that's had it going on? Right? Like, I'm fucking going through it. Like, I'm pissed. I haven't shaved. I've just been like, I'm defeated to say the least. Right? It was hard. It was hard for me to go bananas and destroy my home when we never had a chance to really be in it. Because then you had Josh Johnson, who, going into this, you'd think that motherfucker would have prepared himself, but he was utter fucking garbage.
John,
just garbage.
Here's what I try to tell you all the time. And I tried to tell you this when Brock Purdy came in for Garoppolo. And you were going, it doesn't even matter. It's just next man up. It's not next man up. You guys got lucky with Brock Purdy.
Okay.
You guys got lucky with him.
We didn't get lucky. We drafted him.
I'm saying you drafted him with the last pick of the draft.
Nobody else drafted him.
I understand that, but he's good. That's what you don't understand. He's good. He's not. You guys didn't. I mean, I'm sure you guys did a little bit coaching up. I mean, he's a rookie. You guys have to coach up somehow. But he came into the league. He was probably pretty good. He was better than anyone anticipated he was. And that happens sometimes. Sometimes you get the diamond in the rough. Sometimes you do that.
My point is that Josh Johnson was not prepared enough You didn't look like a quarterback prepared. You are the only fucking quarterback in case Brock goes down, whether it's for 10 minutes, whether it's prior to halftime. You prepare as if you're going to fucking start the game. You prepare because you are the stopgap here. Like, it's you, okay? And he was utter fucking garbage. He fucking muffed a snap. He fumbled a snap.
Izzy wants you to answer a question.
Which one is it?
On possible Trent Williams retirement.
Can't stay, but please love to hear your thoughts on a potential or possible Trent Williams retirement and the requested interviews of Steve Wilkes and Vic Fangio. I think we still have Trent on another 4 or 5 years. I didn't even know I didn't even hear anything.
He could retire at any time. He doesn't have to fulfill the contract.
I don't think he's going to retire. There's no way. There's no way. There's no way. I'm not going to buy that shit. I do love the Steve Wilkes situation though. Fangio, I heard, hasn't decided yet on Miami. But if Fangio decides that, San Francisco isn't for him, or if San Francisco doesn't feel like they want to entertain the Vic Fangio situation, I love Wilkes. I'd love to have him here in San Francisco. I'd like to give that. I wouldn't mind at all. I mean, Fangio's 64 years old, for God's sake. I don't want a guy coming in and going out. You know what I mean? Like, I want someone to grow with the team, and grow with their draft capital and just be here. I don't want you to be here for a year or two and then, interview for,
those guys are going to be
a head coach. So, I see Vic's already done the head coaching thing. He sucked at it. So, but then again, what if Vic's here for a couple of years and decides to retire, right? Like, I just don't want that 2-year revolving door with a defensive coordinator. It appears to me that there isn't anybody within the organization that they want to promote, or at least they haven't said anything yet. And if they did, I didn't see it. Again, I haven't turned on ESPN, Sports Center, NFL Network. I haven't listened to any podcasts. I love doing my own show, but I'd be lying to you if I told you I was thrilled to do it. I'm here more so for therapy, to join my friends in the chat, kind of go through it together. But to be honest with you, it's shitty when you just really couldn't put your feet in the ground and compete, right? Like that's the worst part. At least last year, it was close and we shit the bed. But this year, this was tough. This is a tough one to swallow, man. It was, the way that game started was just, I don't know. I felt like I was in the goddamn Twilight Zone. Shit was happening. Fred went down. Bosa went down. Purdy's elbow. Just it was just like chaos and crazy. And I don't know. It was just a very weird game. Everything about it was weird. Just took the wind out of my sails. That's all I really got for you, fam. I really hope that Trent's not going to retire. I really hope he's not going to retire.
If Trent did retire, you guys are fucked. Like that would be the worst news you heard in the last decade. Because that guy's
Tony's fine. He's on a work trip. Tony's fine. He's on a work trip. We're hoping he'll jump in with us soon, or at least join us in the chat. But yeah, Tony's fine, everyone. He's just working. He's on a work trip. That's all there is to that. I'm rambling, man, because I'm starting to get
with the Johnson thing, listen, Josh Johnson performed like Josh Johnson. Josh Johnson's been in the league 15 years. Josh Johnson's played in approximately 150 NFL teams. There's not even that many, so he's played on more than there is. Okay. Josh Johnson is not a guy you want playing against a good team. Josh Johnson, sure. Could Josh Johnson come in against the Houston Texans, maybe do enough not to screw anything up and you guys eke out a win? Sure. But he's not going to be able to do that against the NFC and the other team that's vying for the NFC championship. He's not going to do that. That's too good of a team. You need all your ducks in a row in that game. And
Nick,
Josh Johnson can't get it done.
You got to make the short dink and dunk throws. You're a veteran.
He can't.
You got to. You got to
do it.
You got to. You have to try. You got to try.
Well, I'm sure he was trying. I'm sure
you got to fucking try. He was shaking like a leaf. The guy was unprepared. You don't go into the NFC Championship knowing you're the backup quarterback for Brock Purdy, looking like hot shit on a stick. Dude was garbage. Fucking garbage. Just even if you played 15, 16 years in the league, you know what the one thing you should be able to do?
Mm-hmm.
Not fumble a fucking snap.
Mahomes did.
I don't care what Mahomes did because Mahomes, Josh Johnson, we're comparing like fake fruit to real fruit at this point.
I would expect
fake oranges,
Josh Johnson,
the fucking wooden oranges.
I would expect John Johnson, a guy who plays maybe once a year for the past 15 years.
You don't fumble snaps
before Mahomes did.
No, I don't give a fuck. Quarterbacks fumble snaps. I can live with that. But you know what they also do? They also make plays. The guys that you're referring to, they make plays.
Unfortunately,
Josh Johnson checked the fuck out mentally before he even got on the fucking field.
Josh Johnson does what Josh Johnson does, and that's generally not play good. Like what Josh Johnson is he's probably a guy that can be your scout team quarterback. He's seen a little bit, so he could probably mimic a couple different things. He's got a decent amount of mobility, even as an older guy. So he could probably mimic some of if you're playing a running quarterback. That's what Josh Johnson does. He's not supposed to be in the game. He's not supposed to ever see the field. What you guys should have done was I'm sure you guys could have got a quality backup for the playoffs. I don't know why you guys didn't do that. It probably wouldn't have costed that much.
At this point, fucking cares. I'm so fired up with Josh Johnson's performance. I felt like, just give us a little bit. I can be very mad. I can be extremely angry. That was extremely poor.
It's unfair of you to be mad at Josh Johnson when Josh Johnson's doing just about as good as Josh Johnson could do.
No, you got to prepare yourself for these moments, man. You got to be.
So you
mentally, you need to be mentally prepared. Okay, I just, you helped us. We drove down the field. I mean, we scored a touchdown. What the fuck? The moment he fumbled that snap, dude, check the fuck out.
Yeah,
checked out.
Josh Johnson, you're lucky you got a touchdown with Josh Johnson, really. Do you want to jump right into the Knicks and cranny of the game? You just want to go into that?
We're already
tiptoeing around it.
Yeah, that's fine.
The moment there was two plays that the 49ers lost the game on. Obviously, Purdy gets injured. When Purdy gets injured, you guys are screwed. But that catch by Devontae Smith, I've said it. I've been on 49er YouTube and Twitter, and I've been saying it all over the place. Kyle Shanahan needs to challenge that. There's no reason why Kyle Shanahan does not challenge that. If you challenge that, that changes the whole trajectory of that game. Not only do you not give up a touchdown, but you also get the ball back with a short field. You either score or say you even go 4 and out. You punt the ball away. Wishnowsky puts them probably on the 10-yard line. Now they're dealing with bad field position. Okay? Your defense was playing good enough for a long period of time in that game where if you would have got 7 points at the start, you might have won that game. Brock Purdy probably would never have been in the position where he had to pass all that much. He probably stays in. Everything about that, everything after that call led to the downfall of the 49ers that game. I knew that wasn't a catch. I would have threw the flag immediately when I saw Devontae Smith get up. Even if I didn't see what I saw, I still would have threw the flag because it's 4th down. If it's an incomplete, it's a turnover on downs. You get the ball back on your 40. Okay. Now Devontae Smith comes up. He's like, they weren't hurrying up for anything. They weren't running a hurry up offense. Why were they hurrying up? Why was Devontae Smith telling them to get to the line? Kyle Shanahan does this every year, every time he's in a big game. He out coaches himself. And he's great. He's great in a lot of areas. He runs. I wish he was running the Browns offense because I think he'd do wonders for the talent that we have. He's able to scheme. He's able to adapt. He's able to do a lot of things. But one thing that he does, and it's a cardinal sin of his, it's the huge character flaw. He out coaches himself. He'll stop running when the running game's working. He'll
Nick, you keep blaming Kyle for this, but there's still there. You got guys in the booth like,
game, John.
There are more. It's more than just Kyle. There are multiple coaches there with a headset. Speak the fuck up.
The buck stops at Kyle.
Okay, but
the buck stops here. The buck stops at Kyle. Kyle shouldn't have had to hear anything from anyone in the stands with a mic with a headset on and watching a screen. He should have just threw the flag. Do you think in that Ohio State Michigan game, do you think what's his face was listening to his people? No, he saw the Georgia coach saw and he called a timeout right before Ohio State did that trick 4th down play.
I mean, that didn't fool anybody when there wasn't anybody there on that fake. Are you talking about the fake punt?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was no. You weren't fooling anyone when they were lined up. There was a guy absent. You knew it was a fucking fake.
Me and you.
Yeah, but you know what? When they replayed it, they're like, "Oh, hey, there's a guy absent. There's a guy missing." That was the tip-off.
That's an example of a coach being smart and watching and knowing what he has to do. Kyle Shanahan.
Okay, Nick. But I mean, the game. Look, Nick.
Ruined the game for you guys.
You can keep you can keep blaming Kyle. You're not the only one. I don't care. It's not even upsetting me at this point because the NFL should have reviewed it anyway, but they didn't.
Why should
it's
the NFL
fine.
review it? The NFL doesn't review
Why not?
it. The NFL doesn't review those plays.
They don't review bullshit.
The only thing the NFL reviews is touchdowns.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No, that was they should have reviewed it.
The NFL doesn't review normal plays, John. The NFL, it's not the booth review to review.
So at the end of the day, you're telling me that was it, this game was won by 7 points.
No. But what I'm telling you is that changed the whole trajectory of the game. That in essence made you guys it put the onus on you guys to have to score. You guys, you and Philadelphia are both very similar teams. I'll put it in boxing terms. You guys are Frazier versus Foreman, okay? You guys are all offense, knockout. I'm going to pummel you till you submit type guys. And one of those two is going to come out on top doing that same very thing. You got put in a position because Philly went up to have the onus on you to have to score now. So you went away from your running game. You started going more towards the pass. And what happens? Your quarterback gets injured. I'm not necessarily blaming the injury on Kyle, but that probably wouldn't have happened. It probably wouldn't have been the case if you guys didn't let up that touchdown, which you guys wouldn't have if you guys would have challenged that play.
The booth has the right to stop any play that they feel was incorrectly wrong. Where they screwed up was not giving all the review angles until after the commercial break. That was the bullshit thing.
The booth has every angle they need.
But they didn't show the angles because Devonta Smith. Here's the thing, Nick. Shut up. The fact of the matter is, Devonta Smith is running to the fucking line doing this. San Francisco's sleeping, bro. They're just sleeping.
Yeah, that's in essence.
But it's just not on Kyle. I blame everyone there. I blame them all. I blame DeMeco. I blame them all. Just somebody fucking tell him to throw the flag. You know, somebody pick up on the sign, pick up on Devonta running up the field. You know, it's not like you needed a camera angle to see Devonta fucking doing this. I mean, you fucking failed. San Francisco failed as a whole. I'm not going to hold Kyle solely accountable. I'm going to fucking hold them all accountable. It is what it is.
Kyle even said he had the flag in his hand and was going to throw it anyways.
Okay. Okay.
The risk reward was too much in your favor to challenge it. So you don't get it. Say you challenge it and it was a catch, or say you challenge it and you can't actually do it. Big deal. You lose a timeout in the first half. First half timeouts aren't even really that important.
I hope you paid attention to other fucking shit that happened in this game aside from that. Because
that's another thing. Like,
this was not the one thing that determined the end of the game.
I've been listening to a lot of 49ers YouTube and Twitter and seeing stuff on Twitter. And for some reason, that's never brought up. The Kyle Shanahan thing is never brought up. Little stupid, little dumb plays throughout the game that really, in all essence, all that stuff, the officiating. Like, you guys have a problem with the officiating every single time you lose. Every single time you lose, it has to be the officiating. Like, the officiating is the officiating. I actually heard somebody.
We just listened to you this season complaining about officiating. I can find those and clip them and play them. So don't use officiating against me.
I might have complained about officiating one time, but the Browns
officiating. Nick, let me be very clear, because you know what? You know what you didn't hear from me? Anything about officiating. I'm not holding officiating accountable here.
I think I complained about.
But I will say this.
Game, that's it.
I will say this. The NFL officiating from week 1 all the way till the fucking Super Bowl has been and will be fucking garbage. That's it. I'm just going to say that now. I think it has been and it will be garbage. And that goes across the entire league for all 32 teams, not just my team. The officiating this season specifically has been fucking disastrous. And it doesn't get any better when every fucking person on planet Earth has a sports book in the palm of their fucking hands. Every state that hasn't had it, that will be getting it, watch the officiating get shittier and shittier as the years progress. It's fucking garbage. Okay? But I'm not going to blame the refs. San Francisco did not have a chance the moment this play behind me happened right here. That was it. I don't give a fuck what happens. Clock spinning, substitutions being misunderstood for clocks fucking ticking. I've heard it all. I don't care. I don't care about officiating. But you can find bad officiating. I don't care about holds. There's going to be holds in every fucking facet of the game from now till eternity. There are going to be bad calls in the Super Bowl. There were bad calls in the Bengals-Chiefs game. There were bad calls in the San Francisco game. And there were bad calls for fucking 17 weeks of football. This season specifically has been atrocious. So the NFL officiating has a great deal of work to do. The refs need to be held accountable, whether it's individually or by fines. I don't care if it's a fucking 4 or 5 strikes, you're out. I don't care. But if you want this game to be officiated the way that it should be, with all these fucking rules, all this bullshit, it's got to get better. It's got to get better.
There's actually, it made me chuckle because it was so crazy. I actually was watching, I was actually looking at Twitter, and people were complaining that there was a play where I believe it was Josh Johnson that got sacked. Oh, no, it was the fumble. It was the Josh Johnson fumble. That there were 2 49ers players that false started and that they should have been called for the false start, but they didn't call them for the false start. As if the refs, who were intentionally trying to fuck the 49ers, had ESP and knew Josh Johnson was going to fumble that play. So they said, we're not going to call that false start. Like, people were actually trying to make this some type of conspiracy theory.
Look, you're having a hard time. You're having a hard time coming to the table with your argument because I'm not buying. I don't care.
No, that was an actual.
You're not going to get it. Yeah, dude. If you're on Twitter, you're going to find all kinds of shit. You're going to find you're going to find all kinds of shit. All right. You got guys that want Kyle fired. You got guys that want, John Lynch, Kyle Shanahan removed. You're gonna have it. You're gonna have it. Let them fucking sing. I don't care. That's not me. I'm not calling for his job. I don't think that his job should be in jeopardy. Okay? I'm not calling for his job. I'm not blaming the officials. Do I think there were some shady calls? Sure. But again, I can say that about 17 fucking weeks of football for every fucking team that played. The officiating this year has been terrible.
They're human.
It's been terrible.
They're
okay?
human.
I just, at the end of the day, I just want the officiating to get, I need them to tighten it up. I'm not talking about holds. I don't care about holds. I don't care. Holds, everybody's holding. There's going to be a hold on every play of football. I don't give a shit. You're going to take one, you're going to give one.
Which is something that the NFL needs to do something about, because the star, Bosa deals with the same thing too. Garrett deals with the same thing. I'm sure every great defensive lineman, defensive end deals with the fact that they get held on every single play. You can literally call a hold on every single play. But yeah,
it's unfortunate.
Bashar, to answer your question, I'm much harder on the Browns than I am the 49ers.
Give me a chance to catch up with this chat.
I wanted Joe Woods to be fired before the season even started.
What do you want Shanahan fired for?
I'm talking about Stefanski.
Oh, all right. Let me catch up with the chat, because there's only two of us here, folks. Listen, guys, I'm not ignoring you. The chat is bumping. I really, really apologize, fam. Brian Culp, I see you, fam. Thanks for joining us. Coach Cruz, I see you, bro. Anybody else I missed? Gammon, I saw you here, bro. Mariah, I see you, family. All right, let's go through here. Let's give me a Christy, we see you, fam. Thanks for joining us. All of you guys, I appreciate your continued support, family. Nick and I really appreciate you rocking out with us tonight, for sure. Ty, I see you, my man. Bo, I see you, bro. Congratulations. If you didn't hear me earlier, man, I really want you guys to pull this one out. I'm really pulling for you guys this Super Bowl for sure. While I'm looking for some key points here, Nick, who do you want to win and why?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm one of those people that, like, I can take if the team that's supposed to win the championship wins the championship. So generally I want the Chiefs to win. If they win, they're supposed to win. It doesn't really matter. If the Bengals won, I'm not gonna lie, that would kind of sting. That would sting.
Look, here's what I want. I want Kansas City to win, because I believe that the Eagles need to face a pass rush that is within the realm of what San Francisco brought. Because at 121 yards, Holden Hurts to 121 yards, and I forget how many yards he rushed for. It's like they have 70 sacks, but it just, to me, they gathered a great deal of those, a ton of those versus shitty adversaries. Shitty.
The NFC was shitty. Like, there were really 2-3 good teams in the NFC.
The NFC Championship game was not a good test, because San Francisco's defense fought for as long as they could. Okay. But I want to see a defense. I want to see a pass rush specifically smother Mahomes, or I'm sorry, smother Hurts. I got to see it. I got to see it.
I don't think the Chiefs are never necessarily going to bring that, though.
They did. They do. Dude, Jones is nasty. Frank Clark is nasty. Clark is nasty.
Jones is a one-man wrecking crew on that defense. Like, if you take
Frank
Jones
Clark's
off
nothing about your.
If you take Jones off that defense is the worst in the league. Jones is a man-child.
Worse than the league, dude. Worse in the league. it's not. Look, Nick. Here's the thing: you just need two guys on both sides to contain and fold that edge. Jones and Frank Clark do a great job at it. They're going to get to the quarterback. They're going to do it.
Is the most worth money player in the NFL right now because he is single-handedly holding down on that defense.
NorCal Bill, I see you, my man. I didn't mean to leave you out, fam. Good to see you. I appreciate you stopping in here and supporting us. I'm trying to find some comments, man. Listen, fam, if there's anything that you want specifically to talk about, chop it up in the comments, and I will. I'll get it right away because I'm going back now, and I just don't want to leave anybody out. I just want you guys. If there's anything you want to specifically touch base on, send it in the chat now, and we'll get to it. We'll get to it. Nick says Chris Jones was a monster. Need a repeat. You do. You really do. You really do.
Amazing.
Clark is number 3 all time now in postseason sacks. Karlaftis is nasty. He was a great pick. I really enjoy that kid. He's probably related to us.
He's good, but I don't think he's nasty yet. I mean, he's young. He's a rookie.
He's going to be nasty. It's going to be great.
But
he's going to be great.
Yeah, I mean, right now Chris Jones is that defense. Chris Jones, he's really amazing the stuff that he does. I mean, he's in for a defensive tackle who a lot of teams you don't even know their defensive tackles' names. For a defensive tackle to constantly be in on just about every play is unbelievable. I mean, he's the best defensive tackle in football in my opinion, and I don't think anyone's going to question me on that.
Niners secondary shutdown, Phillies wide receivers. We did a great job this game, man. Motherfucker. That's what oh my God. The things, when I think about how well we defended the pass, motherfucker.
There's only really two in the NFC. I don't think Philly's a great passing team. I think they do a lot of what the 49ers do, and they get a lot of yak yardage. Like they do a lot of crosses. They do a lot of screens to Smith and to AJ Brown, and I mean, they're not a team. Occasionally, they'll take a deep shot down the field if they get a chance, but for the most part, they're not a prolific downfield passing team. The only two teams that really pass downfield with any type of real success consistently in the NFC are the Vikings and the Cowboys. They're the only teams that really have an aerial attack in that whole conference. Maybe you might be able to say Arizona, but Arizona stinks. As far as the good teams, it's only the Cowboys. It's only the Cowboys and the Vikings.
Scott says got 8 sacks, Nick. What's he talking about?
What's that?
Well, you said got 8 sacks, Nick.
What do you mean?
That's what I'm asking you. Was he answering? Was he talking to you, or is he talking to Nick Cool?
I don't know. I'm sure he's talking to me, but what does he mean? Got 8 sacks? Does he mean Chris Jones has 8 sacks? I don't know.
Oh no, Karlaftis. He's talking about.
Okay.
Talking about 8 sacks. About Karlaftis up here. He said Karlaftis is coming on.
Yeah. 8 sacks ain't. I mean, that's not in an all-pro at that point.
But sure, Nick Karlaftis.
Not to mention, like I said, sacks are fine, but sacks don't tell the whole picture. Like, you can get a sack and you're not even the person.
Nick, sacks are part of your fucking job. Sacks are what you need to do. Like you say, sacks are good, but sacks aren't. Like a sack is a sack. Like that's it. End of downs, bro. Like it could be you can force fumbles. Like it could be detrimental to the end of the game, bro.
That's
like
true.
Sacks are your job. It's what they do.
There he is.
What's up,
That's
Tony?
True. But if the other side is applying the pressure and you happen to get the sack, That's not necessarily a great indictment of you.
Just don't downplay sacks, bro.
I
Like
downplay
it's
sacks.
not like well, sacks are.
Don't
Yeah,
downplay
sacks are.
sacks,
We
bro.
do some sacks, but
I think that you upplay sacks.
like you fucking sack. Like that's your job. You either
emphasis on
sack or you don't. There's not. You don't do something else that like a sack is like on the low end. But what I really should have done was like smack this motherfucker in the nose,
fine.
like get my fingers in there and like really pull on that motherfucker. But you don't. You sack the quarterback. That's your fucking job. Like that's exactly what you've trained to do.
Unless you're the
holy shit,
the quarterback has gone down. All the sack means is the quarterback has gone down behind the line of scrimmage. Like you can get a sack and you really didn't even do all that much. You were just in the right spot. Like that happens all the time with other players in the 49ers. Bosa's taken up all this attention. Bosa's putting the pressure. Quarterback has to go to the other side slightly, and somebody else gets a sack.
Nick.
Yeah.
I'm here with a bunch of work friends.
All right.
And they all said, "Who's that bald motherfucker? I can't stand him. Turn that shit off."
That's what it is.
You're hated by all.
That beard's getting fierce.
That beard's getting fierce, son.
It is.
When do we have to eat the hot wings?
As soon as you get home and get your ass in front of the camera.
Yeah.
We're doing it.
Fuck the Chiefs. Hey, by the way, fuck the Chiefs.
Yeah, it is what it is. I'm glad.
Well, Nick, what do you got to say about that?
Even though I have to put hot sauce in my mouth, it's gonna be bad.
Where else are you gonna put it, on your fucking penis? You're gonna put it in your mouth, you fucking dickhead.
I'd rather. I'm probably gonna have a tub of ice cream nearby.
I fucking hate the Chiefs. I hate the Eagles. This will be the worst Super Bowl ever. Average Bo's putting chili peppers in the chat. Fuck him too.
How's that work trip? How's that work trip you're at right now?
What's that?
How's that work trip?
It's going good, man. We had a good dinner. We're at a cigar lounge right now, having a few drinks. I was like, guys, I got to get back to the hotel. We got a show to do. They're like, what the fuck show you talking about? I'm like, locker room rant, bro. No one gave a shit, so now I'm at the cigar bar.
What are you drinking over there?
I got a Crown Peach and Sprite.
That's your new drink, huh?
What the fuck is that?
It's not bad.
I just got done drinking a Blanton's. We went to a bourbon bar and they had every bourbon known to man. Every bourbon known to man.
Best.
It was wild.
Did you taste any that tasted good, or did they all taste like pure gasoline?
I had a Blanton's Gold. It was delicious.
Delicious. It tasted like better gasoline.
Oh, he doesn't mean that, Laney. Believe me, he's pulling for the Chiefs. We're all pulling for the Chiefs because those fucking dirtbag, dirty bird pieces of shit in Philly.
You know what, John? Let me stop you right there. I'm not pulling for the Chiefs. I'm pulling for the Eagles. Fly, Eagles, fly on the road to victory. Fly, Eagles, fly. Score a touchdown, 1, 2, 3.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the San Fran game, Tone?
I already said it in Mariah's chat. It was like watching Castaway when the volleyball Wilson started floating away. And it was like, you know what? I want him to get Wilson back, but he can't do it. It ain't physically possible. That's what it was like watching that 49ers game. All their quarterbacks went down, and it's like I want them to win so bad, but it is an impossible thing to capture right now.
Mm-hmm.
I felt bad. I felt bad that the season ended like that. I felt bad for JV. I felt bad for Breezy, Mariah, Izzy, Bashar, all of our crew. Just, it was a sad way to end a phenomenal season. But you know what? It opened up a bunch of other opportunities. Maybe some trade bait out there. Just sad. Like, how many times are we going to have to tell this story? How many times are they going to get to the NFC Championship game and come up short? Well, next year, if this quarterback does this, we'll be back to, like, how many times are we going to fucking tell this story?
I'm sick of this. I'm tired of it, man. I mean, now Brock Purdy, Tony, I don't know if you notice this, but he's going to undergo a potential operation. Depending on the operation, it could put him out up to a year, though. I saw if he undergoes Tommy John.
I saw 6 months. You know what? At the end of the day, I've been hearing these rumors. You bring in the GOAT. You bring in Tom Brady for 1 year. You can have Trey and Purdy learn under the GOAT. And I think that's what they need right now. Neither one of those guys.
But Brady fucking Brady. What's Brady gonna do? What is he gonna fucking? How's he gonna escape pressure? A dog sled? Who the fuck's he gonna get out of there?
John, you put Brady on that team. You put Brady on that team, they win the Super Bowl, John. I got news for you, buddy.
There is nobody,
man.
There is nobody who does what the 49ers do better than Tom Brady. There is nobody better at the dink and dunk, maneuvering people around on the line.
He's got the left tackle. He's got weapons all around. The greatest weapons in football, in my opinion. He's got a defense. If you put Tom Brady on that team, not only does he win them the Super Bowl, but those guys get a priceless education. Purdy and Trey Lance get a priceless education of what it's like to be the GOAT. Learn under him for 1 year, and the rest is history.
Here's the thing, though. Is Brady even going to want to go to San Francisco? Doesn't he kind of have bad blood towards them?
We'll see.
Why would he have bad blood? Because we were contract stricken after the 2019 run, and we couldn't get out. There was nowhere we couldn't bring him to San Francisco.
Well, I see shit.
And not for nothing, I'm not even a big Brady fan. I don't even know that he can really even do it.
Oh, he could.
John.
Brady doesn't
Tony, what did he do under pressure every time he was pressured? He looked like dog shit.
Yeah.
Okay, that's under pressure. Yeah. A shitty offensive line that was banged up all year. You guys have a phenomenal offensive line. Weapons everywhere.
I mean, phenomenal. I mean, we could use a center and a right tackle.
Listen, LeBron had to leave Cleveland to go to Miami to get that college education to learn how to win. That's what your that's what your quarterbacks need right now. Those young guys need to know how to win.
He didn't need to go get a college education to learn how to win.
Nick, fuck you.
No. What I'm saying is Tom Brady does everything that Kyle Shanahan requires a quarterback to do, and he's the greatest ever to do that. Think of his running backs when he's ever won. Deion Lewis. Who else was it?
Deion Branch.
I mean, like all these guys, like all these running backs that just caught the ball. Like he's got McCaffrey. Now I'm not one that likes the McCaffrey signing this year, but if you had Tom Brady with
he did it with all the Deons. He even did it with Niner Gang podcast Deon. He can win it.
Yeah, if you have Tom Brady with Christian McCaffrey, do you know the success that that's going to have? Because that's the one thing McCaffrey does really well. He's able to receive the ball very well. I mean, that's all Brady needs.
It's more about those dudes. Those dudes are still raw. You don't know what you have with those guys. Let them learn under a veteran. They have none of that right now. Let them learn under a veteran. Bring in Tom for 1 year, and that's it. They learn. They get that college education. They learn how to win. They learn how to handle success, and then that's it. Pick your poison after that. Both those guys. One of them's going to be trade bait. One of them's going to stick. You need to figure out which one.
I don't think any of them are going to be trade bait because I think they're going to stick with Brock. I don't think Trey has any trade value. And I'm not being a dick. I just don't think he does. I can explain why. I think Trey is unproven. He's untested, doesn't have a lot of experience, and he's injury prone. On top of that, he had the little bit of tape we have doesn't necessarily show that he's really great at any one particular thing.
Well, what makes someone injury prone? Because they got injured once.
Didn't he get injured during college?
No.
Why didn't he not play that whole season in college?
I mean, what is injury prone to you, Nick?
Now he did get injured his first year. That's theoretically.
Look at McCaffrey. Isn't McCaffrey injury prone? Look what the fuck he did.
Yeah, McCaffrey is injury prone.
All right. Look what he did.
Okay. That doesn't mean he's not going to get injured next year.
You're injury prone.
But what I'm saying is
Browns fans are injury prone. They've all hit their head about,
didn't Trey get injured
every 50 fucking years.
Didn't Trey get injured at least once, probably I think twice last year, to the point where
Bashar said, Nick, you're making things up again. He sat out for COVID, you idiot.
Oh, he sat out for COVID? Like he didn't play because he was afraid of COVID when other people were playing?
That makes him injury prone. You fuck.
I don't know. But he did get injured his first year.
What's your name, buddy? I got Mike sitting over here on the couch next to me over here. He's a Lions fan. He goes, what's wrong with that Nick kid? He's fucking stupid.
So anyways, he did get injured his first year. That was apparently the reason why Kyle Shanahan picked Jimmy Garoppolo that year over Trey Lance, because Trey couldn't compete because of his finger.
Why don't you take that finger and stick it in your ass? What's that fucking got to do with anything, bro? You know how many quarterbacks bang up their fingers?
Okay, but
apparently
it was a big enough injury.
Oh, but for the sake of conversation, it happened to Trey Lance. So I'm going to stick the fucking pencil in his ass and twist a little bit. I'm going to get John going.
Apparently it was a big enough injury that it prevented him from competing for the starting quarterback job of the 49ers. I was told that.
Did it, or was it Jim's job?
I mean, I think it was Jim's job, but I was being told all that time that, no, Trey was supposed to be the starter. He just injured his finger.
You know what?
Kyle would never want to play Jim over
Listen,
Trey.
you're really reaching right now. You're going back in time, motherfucker, and we ain't got time for it.
Bottom line, I don't think Trey has any trade value. That's it. I mean, you might be able to get a fifth round, maybe a fourth. But I'm talking like more like fifth or sixth round.
Do you think Purdy has more of a trade value?
Absolutely.
All right, trade his dumbass.
Yeah, but they're not going to trade his dumbass. He looks like he's probably the future.
Wait, why is he a dumbass? I don't understand. Why is he a dumbass? Where am I missing this?
Hey, he's a dumbass.
Why? Because you're feeling that cigar in that glass of peach.
I saw
Sprite?
his Wonderlic test results. He's a dumbass.
Yeah, my ass. You're just hammered. Look,
Coach Cruz. Because Trey Lance can barely throw.
Coach Cruz, I agree, man. Tony and I will let you know.
No, it's just listen. Rex Ryan said it best. Tell me one thing that Trey Lance does that's great. Like I have not seen any great.
That is. We're gonna keep that one up there. I'm gonna leave that one up there. Let that one marinate. The Browns sit out for COVID every year. That is awesome. That is great.
You know what though? We take our disappointments in stride. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. You just say we suck. We want coaches fired.
That's that's it. You guys are really
There's no ifs,
Poster.
ands, or buts.
You're the poster. You're the poster people of how fans should be.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of us, after 50 years of disappointment, would have been like, you know what?
Full of piss and vinegar.
I want to win. I'm going to find another team.
Zach,
Because
what are you
Browns
drinking?
fans have like an everlasting
Okay.
free ride out of Cleveland. Like you guys could pick any other team in the NFL, but y'all stick with the
Well,
Browns.
come be on the
Hoping
Rams.
for that next year.
Come be on the
Home
Rams.
team. It's
You
our
guys
home
are
team.
setting yourselves up for a lifetime of disappointment.
It's our home team.
I don't
If I
give a
wanted
shit.
to, I could go to a Browns game any Sunday that they're home.
John.
And
You
you
have to
would
buy
be
a plane
wasting
ticket
your
to go
money.
to San Francisco.
And you would be wasting your money.
You have to
John.
buy a plane ticket to go to San
Right.
Francisco. That's why.
John, everyone's asking me to mute my phone because they can hear you over every fucking person at this place.
Well, I mean, what do you have us on?
Just my speakerphone.
Damn good speaker.
That is a damn good speaker. Either that or there's 4 of you in the bar.
I told my buddy Zach, come be on the locker room rant. He goes, I can't get a word in over that John guy. I said, that's his
Oh.
strategy. That's his strategy. The louder you talk, the more right you are.
Hey, come on, man. I want to hear your takes.
Come on.
Bring them on.
Bring him on.
I mean, if he thinks that we should trade Trey Lance, don't come on. Save yourself the embarrassment because I'm not going to have it.
I don't think you guys should trade Trey Lance because I don't think you guys will get the value.
If you think that we should trade Brock Purdy, again, stay off my screen. I don't want to embarrass you. I don't want to hear it.
The only thing, if you trade Trey, you're not going to get a quarter of what you gave up to get him.
No.
So
Why would we trade Trey? We have the cheapest quarterback room in all of football right now. There's no reason for us to move off of anybody.
Well, I've heard people say Trey should demand a trade. I'd be like, you're not in a position to demand a trade.
listen, I got news for you,
There's no
John.
reason
You
for
got
him to.
to trade one of those two motherfuckers. What are you going to do? Have another controversy for the next 6 years?
Well, first of all, you have to make sure that, you have to compete. It's not just a 1 year. You're not just rewarded because you had a 12-game win streak. You need to show this season in, season out. Like every year you need to compete. And if they find themselves in a predicament, then they've got to move somebody. But for right now,
Name
we're
me
not talking
one
about
time.
moving anyone.
Name me one time in NFL history where there was two ridiculously young quarterbacks that had to compete every year with each other.
Yeah.
That's not realistic.
Trey didn't have to compete last year. Trey was handed the job. They didn't bring Jimmy back till like the very end of offseason, and they didn't give Brock Purdy a chance to compete. We were told Trey was going to be the starting quarterback before June. So they didn't give him a chance to compete. Now
It's totally premature right now to talk about moving anyone.
NorCal Bill, what are you saying no Tony for?
Who's saying no, Tony?
NorCal Bill. No Tony. No what?
Explain yourself, NorCal Bill. No, they're really
Explain
not
this.
cheap.
Saying
though.
they're both cheap. Keep them.
They're really not cheap, though. Trey's not necessarily cheap. If Trey's your backup quarterback, he's kind of expensive for a backup quarterback. Like, I mean, you have a gold mine in the fact that Brock Purdy only makes $750,000.
How about this Havoc sighting? It's been a while, brother. What's up, brother?
No,
Havoc smoking cigs.
ever capable of Trey. Brock I agree with Havoc. Brock played better this season than I think Lance is ever capable of. Trade Lance. I actually don't agree with that. I actually think Lance is capable. I think he has talent, but is he ever going to unlock that talent? That I'm not sure of.
I don't get NorCal Bill. I don't know how you say keep them both. You're gonna have
Tony. What are you gonna? Where are you gonna move? You can't move Trey. That is you haven't even gotten to put even a full 3 years in development with this kid. So you can't trade Trey Lance. You're not going to trade Trey Lance. That's not going to happen. Brock Purdy has given you 12 games straight. Now he's got to go back, compete for the job, and do it again. And then you determine.
I say dump him.
But right now, Brock Purdy right now is battling an injury. So we're not moving off Brock Purdy right now. There's no reason.
All right, so let me ask you this. Last year, someone was battling an injury on the offseason, right? Who was it? Couldn't trade him because of injury. Who was it?
Jimmy.
Now you're in the same fucking boat as last year?
Yeah, but Jimmy's a 9-year vet. Jimmy's a 9-year vet who hasn't shocked anybody the way Brock Purdy did. Jimmy couldn't have done that shit.
You guys need a fucking quarterback. The end. Not controversy. Year in and year out. When does this end?
Tony.
No, I will listen. We do need a quarterback named moving forward. We need this. But we still have to see what we have in Trey Lance. He broke his ankle week 2. We can't give up on him yet.
Tony, this thought just popped.
That injury could have happened to anyone, and specifically your boy Josh Allen. It could have happened to anybody.
Don't you put that on me, Ricky Bobby.
I won't.
Don't you put that on me, Bobby Boucher.
I mean, I don't wish that shit on anybody. I don't. But I'm just saying, like, we're not giving up on Trey Lance yet because of an ankle injury. We still have to see how he does.
Have you thought of this scenario?
I mean, but not for nothing. Like when Trey Lance was drafted, John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan knew that this kid needed developed. It is what it is right now. I agree with you. I agree with you, NorCal. Don't get yourself upset, my guy. It's all good. $9 million between two quarterbacks. It's not a bad problem to have.
Tony, what about this scenario? Brock Purdy.
Thank you, Mike.
Brock Purdy has the surgery. The recovery time takes a little longer. It gets pushed back to around November, December-ish. Okay? 49ers re-sign Garoppolo.
Why would they do that?
I don't know. It just would be fun.
Why would Jimmy want that most of all?
I don't know why Jimmy does half the stuff that he does. I don't know why I re-signed with the 49ers this year.
Listen, Mike at the cigar
nobody
bar.
else wanted his ass.
Fucked up.
That's why. Nobody came knocking on the door for Jimmy. That's why he was in San Francisco.
Lamar Jackson.
Let's be clear.
Mike wants us to talk about Lamar Jackson. What's going on with Lamar?
I think Lamar Jackson's played his final game in Baltimore. I think Lamar Jackson's is gone.
I don't.
I think them getting rid of Greg Roman was the first sign that Lamar Jackson's gone. I don't think Lamar Jackson is going to back off his insistence on getting that big of a contract.
Can we talk about how Tyler Huntley got named to the Pro Bowl?
For what?
Is that not the most unbelievable thing you've ever heard?
It's unbelievable to the point where I don't believe it.
Google that shit.
Here's the thing. I don't think that the Ravens want to pay Lamar, but I believe they want to stick with Lamar. They're just not willing to give him $250 million.
They want to keep him, but they don't want to pay him.
I don't think that they was insinuating that he comes to San Francisco, fam. Nobody's kicking that shit around. Believe me. I don't want Lamar in San Francisco. We have other positions to pay.
No.
We have to pay Bosa. And that's my big thing.
Fit ever.
Let's just be honest. If Lamar gets $250 million from Baltimore, he's not going to give a shit if you, me, or Mike, your boy, is the coordinator. Believe me, he doesn't give a fuck who it is. In my opinion, they don't want to pay Lamar. They still want to stick it out with Lamar. So, the ball's in his court.
Dak, is this still the Lakers game? This game had 4 minutes left when we got here.
I agree, Havoc. I agree.
But how is Tyler Huntley to the Pro Bowl? That makes fucking no sense.
Yeah, but what's the Pro Bowl this year anyway? Isn't it just a bunch of Isn't it just a bunch of tricks and shit? I don't remember what are they? No, are they doing
There's
what is the Pro Bowl this year?
Teams in the AFC.
Yeah.
And Tyler Huntley made the Pro Bowl.
Patrick Mahomes and Joe Burrow were the backup. Patrick Mahomes and Allen were the starters, and Joe Burrow was selected as the backup. Yeah, Patrick Mahomes was selected as a starter. Allen and Burrow were selected as the backups. They also give alternates. Tua, Herbert, and Lamar were the alternates. Patrick Mahomes can't play because he's in the Super Bowl. And Allen, Tua, Herbert, and Jackson they can't play because of injuries. And Burrow's out for the it says Burrow is also out for the exhibition. That being said, is Tyler Huntley still the guy you pick?
Were you old enough to see Michael Jordan play?
Who cares if it's who cares about the Pro Bowl? What fucking cares? I don't give a shit about the Pro Bowl.
That's wild, though. That's wild.
Cool Nick wants to know, is Allen still hurt, Tony? He was. He had to be.
How old are you? I'm 7 years older than you, and I barely remember Michael Jordan.
Herbert's injury, yeah, I agree. Probably
I was probably 13 when he was in his prime.
I mean, look, at the end of the day, who's going to pay Lamar $250 million fully guaranteed?
He retired in 98, the first time.
It'd be a smart move. I think somebody probably will. I don't think it'd be a smart move.
Who?
What's that?
Who should?
I mean, there's got to be a team that needs a quarterback. Maybe Indianapolis. Maybe Houston. Somebody needs a quarterback. Atlanta. There's a lot of teams that need a quarterback.
Yeah, but what teams can afford to sling that kind of guarantee money?
Houston probably can.
It's got to be teams like the Texans. I still think that Chicago should trade Fields for Lamar.
That makes no sense.
It's the same guy, but he's younger.
It's the same guy. He's younger. Fields has a little more of an arm than Lamar does. Like, he's on his rookie contract. Why would they trade Fields for Lamar?
Why the Lions? The Lions. I mean, I think Jared Goff was leading the league in touchdowns with the Lions.
That's still your first one?
We all know what Jared Goff is. Like if you want to build your team around, if you want to build a team around Jared Goff, that's fine. I'm not opposed to that strategy. I don't think it's that bad of a strategy to begin with, but a lot of teams think you must have a good quarterback. There's a lot of people that think Lamar is a top-tier quarterback. I'm not one of them. There's a lot of people that think Lamar's a top-tier quarterback. Somebody will pay him that money.
We'll see what happens.
Not everyone's as smart as him. I
agree, Laney. Fucking joke.
I don't think that he'll get exactly what he wants, but he will get close to what he wants. He may get an 80% guaranteed contract.
No.
It's possible.
Listen, Lamar demands a fully guaranteed contract. If that fucking shit for brains Watson gets a fucking contract of $250 million fully guaranteed after playing with his dick, why wouldn't Lamar demand it, and why shouldn't he get it?
Because like I said, the Browns are kind of in a unique situation. They have an owner that has among the most liquid money there is. Like, there's not a lot of owners that can go out and just get $230 million. Like, the Davises and the Raiders don't have that money. They're not that rich. They're rich. Every owner in the NFL is rich, but they don't have the liquid assets to go and just say, hey, I'm going to give $230 million. When you guarantee a contract, whatever you guarantee, you have to have that money in hand.
Nick,
What?
you before you start talking, we have 20 viewers. Once you start talking, we get down to 13.
I'm pushing for 7.
You are a YouTube channel killer.
Yeah, we're gonna be taking interviews for new co-hosts.
My dude Mike over here on the other couch just challenged you to a fight.
There's a lot of hostility over there in Kentucky right now.
Complete stranger, Mike over here, challenged you to a fight.
There's a lot of hostility there.
Are you guys all drinking Peach Crown?
MMA style. He knows those kicks and all that shit.
Nick, I think you got this, bro. They're sipping on Peach Crown, bro. You should. That's cough syrup. Come on, bro. You should be able to handle this.
Talk to me when you hit the
Set it
hard.
up. We'll meet you halfway. We'll meet you halfway. The locker room rant gets to air this live. Nick versus Mike.
Nick, I will say those traps are looking good, bro. I will say that.
Yep.
Those are like bear traps.
Bear traps. Damn right. You get in the grasp of the traps.
Yo, Scott, no one cares that you're free on Tuesday, okay? No one cares that your team's going to the Super Bowl. No one fucking cares, okay?
I care because I want to see the Philadelphia Eagles get slammed. I do.
John's new most hated team, the Philadelphia Eagles.
I don't know why.
No. I just want the fucking Chiefs to kill the fans of Philly. I want them to just feel the pain because they didn't earn it.
John's most hated teams have gone from the Chiefs.
They got there.
The Rams,
the Eagles got to the Super Bowl because Brock Purdy got his. Do you understand why Philadelphia's in the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
You mean to tell me that with Purdy healthy, San Francisco doesn't beat Philadelphia?
I mean, I don't know. They might have, John. I mean, it's not like
they do.
Like Purdy was
They
in there.
do.
You guys were lighting up.
They do. They do.
It's not like when Purdy was in there, you guys were lighting them up, and then all of a sudden Purdy gets hurt, and that's when you guys lost.
Why were you what? First series? No, it wasn't even a goddamn game. Philadelphia got a free fucking pass. And their fans, it's their fans. It's not the fucking Eagles. It's not the Eagles roster I can't stand. I don't have a fucking problem with them. It's their fucking fans. They are fucking garbage.
But everyone
And
hates
that
the Eagles for their
is
fans.
enough for
They're
me.
notoriously
Kansas City,
assholes.
fucking destroy them. I want to see those fans fucking bawl their eyes out and eat shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Philly fans are notoriously assholes in every sport they're in. Even hockey, they're even bigger assholes.
Well, you know what? Guess what? They weren't in my fucking crosshairs till they thought that they beat a worthy adversary, a fucking one-armed quarterback that didn't throw.
They weren't.
And when they had a quarterback in there, he still couldn't throw. So fuck Josh Johnson and fuck the fan base of the Philadelphia Eagles. I don't care.
Ask him who his NFL team is.
I hope it's the Eagles. Oh, cool, Nick. Let me tell you something. It's flowing
The
through me.
Texans. Never mind, guys. I'm doing a sports podcast. We can't even bring up the Texans. Shit.
We talked about them a little bit.
That's the first time in my life I ever asked someone who their team is. They said the Texans.
Yeah, everyone, even if you're from
Congratulate
Dallas,
them. Congratulate them on.
You
Congratulate him on DeMeco Ryans. That's a.
Hey, congratulations on getting DeMeco Ryans new head coach.
even if you're from Texas, like everyone from Texas, no matter where you're from, is a Cowboys fan.
Yeah,
Nobody's,
that's right.
Nobody's a Texans fan.
I used to like Warren Moon though with Houston.
Oilers?
I think they had Eddie George too, right?
Yeah.
I think Eddie George got
serious,
drafted
Scott?
to the Oilers.
Might have.
I hate them, dude. The fans of Philly. You guys, I hope. I cannot wait. They're going to be miserable. Just watch. Just watch. Watch them play an opponent worthy.
So, John, let
depends.
me clarify this. You're cheering for the Chiefs in the Super Bowl.
Yes.
Yes.
That's some sellout shit right there.
Why? Why am I
selling
selling out? Why?
They beat
I hate
you.
Philadelphia
They
fans.
beat you in the Super Bowl, and you want them to win another one?
It's not this. That's not
What
the
am I?
latest.
What is that? How does that? What does it matter whether it's me? What? It's not like I'm the.
Those
I'm
Chiefs
not
Kingdom
the-
Lions. Those Chiefs Chiefs Kingdom Live got you all fucked up.
No, I'm all for this shit. I don't want Philadelphia to win. Fuck that shit. I would rather root for a division rival in my division than the fucking Philadelphia Eagles.
Wouldn't you rather the team that
I
beat
don't give a
you?
shit.
Wouldn't you rather the team that
2019,
beat
Nick.
your team?
Nick, 2019 is a thing of the past for me. I'm not crying over spilled milk.
What I'm saying is, wouldn't you rather the team that beat you win, so you could say, well, at least I'm better than these guys?
Me better than the guys that beat me without a quarterback, bro. Are you high? What are you drinking the shit that those idiots are drinking over there in Kentucky?
No,
What's the matter with you, bro?
You can still have a little bit of a case to make.
Bro,
like, we probably would have
drinking
beat
bong
the
water.
Eagles.
Get out of here.
We probably would have beat the Eagles, and then they beat the Chiefs. So technically, we should be Super Bowl champions.
No. Because the downfall of the Philadelphia Eagles are their fans. They are despicable.
I actually respect them.
They're disgusting.
You're right.
I actually
They're
respect
disgusting.
them.
I was in the military in Dover, Delaware, down the street from Philadelphia, and I had to deal with their fucking fans every Sunday. And I'm 100% behind you, John. Fuck the Eagles. I'm on the Chiefs. I want the Chiefs.
Wait, you changed.
He was always for the Chiefs, Nick.
No,
I know this. He was given a rise. He was given a rise for the fans in the chat.
That's it.
That's it.
I knew it. I knew
That's
it.
it.
I knew he was
I
rooting
didn't
on
know
things.
you hate the Chiefs. I mean, I didn't know you hate the Eagles. You hate Philadelphia fans.
I hate that 4 years of my life dealing with those fans. I will never, ever cheer for the fucking Eagles in my life. I want Patrick Mahomes. You know what? If I don't have a dog in the fight, I want to see greatness. If my team's not in it, I want to see Tom Brady win and win more championships. I want to be alive to watch greatness. And we're witnessing that with Patrick Mahomes. I hope their team is healthy enough to at least put a good product on the field and compete in this game and end up pulling it off. Injuries are fucking piling up over there in Kansas City. And I hope that they can put a good product on the field and find a way to squeak out against the fucking Eagles. I saw a stat. It was like the number one offense in the league is 0-2 against the number one pass defense in Super Bowls. So that's what this is going to be. The number one offense with the Kansas City Chiefs against the number one pass defense against the Eagles. And so far, the Eagles in this situation would be 2-0 against the Chiefs. I'm just hoping. I really do not want the fucking Eagles to win this. I fucking hate the Eagles. Don't get me wrong. I hate the Chiefs, but I'd rather see them win. I'd rather see the greatness of Mahomes. I'm going Chiefs.
John,
But
are we allowed to tell your bad beat story?
what? No, because I was emotional. No, I don't want to.
All right. I had to ask if we could tell it.
I mean, I was. Listen, I'll say it so it doesn't get taken out of context.
I felt really bad for him at the time. I was really happy for him at the time too. So it just is crazy.
Are you talking about how I wanted my quarterback to will my
Browns taking
team?
the Super Bowl.
No. I'm talking about the bet you made, the bad beat.
Didn't even hear you over, John.
What was the bad beat?
P. Ryan?
Oh yeah. Yeah, that was unfortunate because of fucking YouTube.
NorCal Bill, I agree with Tony. Thanks, NorCal Bill.
All
You
right.
shit on me the entire show since I've been on, but now you agree with me.
NorCal is a great dude, man.
So I'm going to tell you guys a story. It's a bad beat story on a bet John.
All right, but don't drag it out. Just get to the point.
So I go over John's house at the start of the Bengals game. He's already in a terrible, terrible mood for the 49ers game. John is a crazy person, and he watches the games with an external antenna because YouTube TV has a lag. Okay, and he doesn't want to deal with any lags. Something happens. John gets pissed, takes the antenna off, so we just start watching the game on regular YouTube TV. Fast forward about an hour and a half. It's now a little past the start of the fourth quarter. At this point, John is making bets on Barstool. John asked me what I think about a particular in-game bet, which is on this particular drive, who is going to score the next touchdown for the Bengals. Starts rattling off names and the odds that it would take that these guys have. He brings up Samaj P. Ryan. Okay. Samaj P. Ryan pays off pretty good. If he bets $25, he wins $350. So at a couple plays later, John hasn't made a bet yet. A couple plays later, Joe Burrow throws a pass deep to Jamar Chase, puts him on the 5-yard line. So now it's first and goal on the 5. So the next play, they run Mixon. He runs towards out of bounds. He only gets a yard. At this time, I see Mixon start trotting off the field. I'm like, John, if you have a chance, put that bet in. I think they're bringing P. Ryan in.
And at that moment, I did. I said I got it. I already put it in. I submitted the bet. It went through.
So it goes through. On the very next play, Samaj P. Ryan, handoff, touchdown. Everyone in that room, John's fiance, we're all like, yes! He got it. I can't believe it. John's running around the house all happy. He's high-fiving people. Sits down, like about a half a minute goes by. He's like, wait a minute, why isn't my money in my account? We're trying to figure it out. It's that fucking lag that John put up the antenna to intentionally avoid.
Yes, the lag.
They were probably kicking the trick off at that time that he put in that.
So the bet went through, but it was too late. So I missed the $350. So that just burned my ass on top of everything else. But it was whatever, whatever. At the end of the day, I'm rooting for Kansas City. I would assume most 49er fans are pulling for the Chiefs to hand the fans of Philadelphia an L in the Super Bowl. Because, to lose an NFC championship game, it sucks. But to get to the Super Bowl and lose in the Super Bowl, that one hurts more than anything. And that is where I want the fans of Philadelphia to feel the pain. They're shit, and I want them to feel the pain. And that's pretty much it.
See, I don't know how that hurts the most, because I feel like being in the title game is an accomplishment all on its own. I feel like being in the Super Bowl is an accomplishment all in its own. Then there's another accomplishment in winning the Super Bowl. That's how I feel. Tony, are you meant to be muted?
I can't unmute him. It says that he chose to mute.
Okay.
You got to unmute.
Why'd you choose to mute, Tony?
How about now?
Now you're
You're
good.
good.
What was the question?
No, what was your question, John?
You don't even remember the fucking question.
John,
Did I tell you I went off on someone this weekend for the first time ever?
like work-wise?
No, at Target.
Do you explain?
First time in my life I ever publicly went off on somebody. So I'm at Target. I take Leo. Christina's at work. I take Leo. And we go to Target. I get my stuff done in 5 minutes, and I tell him, hey, you know what? You've been a good boy. We're going to take you to the toy aisle. Pick out a toy, buddy. It takes this dude an hour to pick out a toy. We get done. We go to the cash register. He starts crying hysterically. I said, what's wrong, buddy? He goes, I don't want this toy. I want a different one. Now I'm losing my motherfucking mind, right?
Maybe we got to think about this toy thing.
We go back to the toy aisle, and on our way, some cell phone provider for AT&T stops me. Mind you, Leo's going crazy in the cart. going hysterical. And the guy goes, hey, who's your cell phone provider? I was like, not fucking now, buddy. Not fucking now. He goes, why? What's wrong? I said, you could see my son's going ape shit. Don't fuck with me right now. He goes, well, I got this good deal going on. I said, I'm sure you got a fantastic deal, but just don't fuck with me right now. He goes, no, but it's 2 free iPhones and all you pay is $90 a month. I said, it sounds like a phenomenal deal. When my wife gets off work, we'll come back here and we can talk about it. He goes, what time does she get off? I said, 5 o'clock. We'll be back here around 6. He goes, okay, I'm here till 8. I said, sounds perfect. He goes, okay, sounds good. I just need your cell phone number. Guys, I fucking snapped. When he asked me for my cell phone number, I fucking blacked out.
It's easy to do.
I start screaming at him. I was like, what the fuck do you need my number for? Do you not see my fucking kid going crazy right now, you motherfucker? He was like, he stopped and was like, whoa. I'm sorry, dude. I was like, don't fuck with me. And I walked away. It was the first time I've ever done that in my life.
How'd you feel? How'd that make you feel?
Oh, I felt fantastic. I felt like $1 million.
Make you feel tough?
Yeah, Bashar, he did not read the room, buddy. Guys, I got less than 10% battery left, so I'm gonna probably drop off.
Yeah, we're gonna probably get.
All right, we got. I mean, we're probably gonna wrap it up in a few minutes.
All right, let me end on this.
Appreciate you, bro.
Let me end on this. Fuck the Chiefs. Fuck Bo. Fuck Nick. Fuck Scott. But really fuck the Eagles. That's all I got.
All right, peace.
Love you guys. We'll see you.
See ya.
Love you, bro. Later. Be safe.